So this video is about how to dress like a Japanese schoolgirl. Welcome to Mind Games TV episode 33, Uniforms in Esport. I'm very disappointed that no esport team has yet adopted the Japanese schoolgirl outfit. I'm still waiting for that, maybe when we start to get a lot of females on teams and stuff like that. But anyway, I had a question from one of my readers or watchers, and this is JP. JP asks, specifically, I think it would be neat to hear your thoughts on why teams wear jerseys and uniforms. And he has a whole long story to go along with that, and I don't want to read it here because I don't know if he wants people to identify who he is or whatever. But the idea is, what is the correlation between traditional sport, where you wear uniforms, and esport, where teams are wearing uniforms? And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. So first off, let's talk about the research. I think that it's kind of accepted in sport, the idea of uniforms, and so a lot of the research in uniform wearing on the psyche has been done in things like exercise motivation and corporate culture. So corporate culture being like, should we wear suits or should we have, uniform kind of styles of dress or not? In schools, should we have uniforms? How do they affect behavior? And most importantly, for motivation, should you be wearing gym clothes or like normal clothes? And the findings have been that uniforms promote cohesiveness, and that outside of the effect of cohesiveness to the group, uniforms also, kind of make you cohesive with that group at large. So if you wear exercise clothes, you identify with exercisers. So you're wearing like track pants, for example, then you're more likely to go running because you you are more likely to go running. That's the fact. We don't know why. We think it's because you more identify with that group, or maybe it's just like the clothes are just easier to go running in than jeans. But anyway, so uniforms are really popular in sport because they help coaches to create a certain culture. Now, you might have seen this in the Become a Coach episode, which I think was 32, but essentially a high-performance culture is a huge necessity in a sports team, and I think that you'll notice on some of the videos of teams training in Korea, or for Worlds, or even in other sports, you will see some teams that train with uniforms on and some teams that don't. This is a kind of a conscious decision by the coach. So some coaches will enforce uniforms at certain times and places, and other coaches won't. Like in football, sometimes you're supposed to come in your track and field gear, and sometimes you're supposed to come in your uniform. And you can use that to your benefit to kind of ramp up the intensity of the training at a particular time, like for boot camps or for really important scrimmages. And you can, but of course, if you use it all the time, then it doesn't have that effect. It doesn't have the effect of dressing up and getting ready. So uniforms are a psychological tool. They definitely have a function in the psyche. We don't understand completely why, because obviously most of the research has been done in a psychological way, meaning, surveys and conversation, not in a neurological way, looking at neurons and like what's firing and what's not firing, and what sort of emotions are generated chemically. But we do know that people react to them just in general, and that usually it's related to cohesiveness and togetherness, professionalization, and identification with the group that you see wearing the uniform. So that is the place that they have in esport, and in business, and in school, and yeah, I think if you think about it in terms of decision making, let's say that you're wearing a school uniform, your urge might be to misbehave, and the value is what prevents you from doing that. And we're more easily able to overcome our urges with our values, using our values, if we have crutches to lean upon, like the fact that we're, the teacher, or that we're wearing a uniform and that we want to respect the uniform. We don't want to embarrass it, And the same is true in teams. Like when you wear your team uniform, you don't want to be late to class, because then everybody kind of sees that it was the football player that was late, or the CLG member that was late, or whatever. Not that anybody in CLG is in classes anymore, but the concept kind of carries on. So, yeah, that's my thing on uniforms, and this is my uniform for my iPhone. So I'll let you kind of interpret what in the world that means. But basically, I sometimes shoot animals with bows and arrows, and I'm not very successful at it. But I used to do it a lot more when I had a bow and arrow, till I sold it to help move to Finland. It's a lot harder when you don't have a bow and arrow to shoot animals with bows and arrows, but I use this to remind myself that that's something I'm going to do again once I can buy a bow and arrow. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, ask a question for the show, mindgames.gg/TV, mindgames.gg/TV, and patronize us, mindgames.gg/patron. See all of the wonderful people who've already patronized our website, and all the content that we produce. It's possible because of them, in part. And yeah, we're going to start expanding what we do with the patrons if the number keeps growing like it is now. So jump on in and enjoy the ride for €5 a month. I don't have any other levels. For €5 a month, if you want to level with more, I don't know, maybe you can buy it a couple times, or you can just contact me. But I'm going for quantity here, not, single large donors. So although that's totally acceptable, and that's a really good business plan also. But I like the idea of spreading the love and being like my work being proven by numbers in audience and passion, rather than some single market event. So anyway, it's to keep me honest and keep me working hard for everybody equally. All right, so anyway, that's a philosophical side note. For €5 a month, you can cancel at any time, refund at any time. There's no obligations or anything like that. It's not like a product where you have this refund cycle or whatever. And yeah, you can do that at mindgames.gg/patron. Ciao. This is like my uniform for the week, isn't it? Because I'm trying to shoot these all together now, where I have free time right now. And I bet you guys think I just basically dress up for this every day and come here. It's my uniform.